Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Inshallah, in this recording, I will go over module 12 from the beginning all the way to the end. I have finished this module with one of the classes, but the other group I haven't finished with them yet. So I'm just going to go over everything again in details, inshallah. Just watch the bit you need. Watch everything as you like. If there is something that you don't understand and you just need me to go over it with you again, that's okay. You can send me an email. We can set up a meeting and we can go through the materials. So, in the string and character class, we talked about the idea of string and character, and we said that a string is always surrounded by double quotation like this, like the word hello, and a character is always surrounded by the single quotation like the letter S, for example, or the symbol hash, for example. It's a character because it's just one single character or symbol that's surrounded by a single quote. We've also talked about the idea that when you define a character like this, so character char, let's name it C, for example, and this C will hold the capital letter A. So this is what your eyes see. Your code defined a variable called C that hold the character A capital. However, the computer does not see this. What does the computer actually see? Is that you have defined a character called C, and inside of the character C, it doesn't see the A, the capital letter A, it sees the corresponding Unicode integer value. So it just sees a number. It sees a number, and the number is 65. And we will talk about the number later on in this module. So the computer just see the Unicode value, which is an integer value that represent the character you have just written. Okay, so that's the first idea. Now, we will talk about class string and class character and how do you manipulate strings and characters in Java. First, you can use a class string, provide a constructor for initializing a string. You can define a string in two different ways. Either you say string x equal to hello, for example, or you can say string x equal to new string, and here hello. So the difference between the first one and the second one, all of them defines a string. The first one is a string literal. It is going to be, this is the memory, this is the stack, and this is the heap. The first one is going to be in here, and this space in the memory is going to be stored in the stack, and it's called X. However, the second one, you have defined X from the class string using the new keyword, and we have talked about that everything that you define with the new keyword is going to be stored in the heap memory. So in the heap, you will have this hello over here. So what is in the stack? In the stack is just a reference called X that will refer to this place in the memory with the word hello inside of it. So let's assume that this space in the heap memory have the address x1 to xh, for example. So because this one is referencing to the space in the memory, Here, it will hold just the memory address that refers to this object in the heap. So this is a different. In here, you have defined an object out of the class string. Because you have defined an object, you can use a string constructor. And you can use the string constructor in 4 different ways. You can either, we're going to go over the string constructor in this example. So in this example, first you have defined a character array from char. So the type of every element in this array is is a char, just one character, and it holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the space, 7, 8, 9 different characters. So the array will start the indexes of the array from 0 all the way until 8. And the characters are B, I, R, T, H, and the space, D, A, and Y. Then you have defined a string called S using the new keyword. So it is going to be like this in the stack and in the heap. In the heap, you have defined hello, and in the stack, you have the reference variable that is referring or pointing to that space in the memory that is holding the string hello, because you're using hello keyword, a new keyword. Right. Let's go over the bit over here. Now, you have also defined S1 from the class string using the new keyword, but this time it's an empty space in the memory. You didn't put here anything, not hello, not anything. So you have S1, and it's defining to it's pointing or referencing to an empty place in the memory because it didn't do anything or put anything. Then defined S2. S2 will refer new string S. It means that you are defining same thing. Let's just take this away and also take this away. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So this is the stack and this is the heap. So S3 in here, it will refer to a space in the memory. What is this space? It's the same space as the space that S is referring to. So if we say that this space in the memory is X, for example, the address of this space is X1, X2, 2, for example. So this variable over here is holding the space X1, X2, 2 because it's referring to this word hello. Now, if you say that S2 is equal to string S, it means that here is S2. It means that S2 will also refer to the same space in the memory that S is referring to. So S2 and S will refer to the same space in the memory. So here it will have the same address, which is X1, X2, 2, because all of these S and S2 are referring to the same exact space in the memory, and that space is holding the word hello. Now, S3 has the character array. So S3 hold the character array. So we are going to take the character array and change it, convert it from a character array into a string. So it will refer to a new space in the memory that's holding this but as a string, which is birth space day. Now S4, let's do it here. S4 is also a string, and from character array I want you to start from index 6 and take only 3 characters. So start from index 6 and only take 3 counters starting 3 characters starting from index 6. So what is index 6 in the character array? It's here. We need to take 3 characters only, so from D, A, and Y, and this will be the value that S4 is pointing at. So day. Now, if you want to print S1, S2, S3, and S4, S1, what is S1? S1 is empty, so empty. S2 references to hello, so hello. S3 birthday, and S4 day. That's it. Easy. Right. Let's move on. More methods. We have length, character at, and get chars or get characters. All of them are methods of the class string. We are going to use them in these examples over here. Let's start from over here, from the main. So we have defined a string S1. Hello there. It's just a normal string like this because it's not defined with S1. So it's a literal string. Hello, space, and there. Then we have defined a character array. Character array has 5 spaces, and now these spaces are empty. What about I make the character array over here? So over here, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is character array. It has five elements. Now it's empty, and the index is all the way from 0 to 4. System.out.print, please print for me S1, and S1 is hello there. So this is the first output. Then system.out.print, print S1.length. I want to know how many character is in the string. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 characters. So the output is 11, correct. Right, moving on. I want you to loop through the character in S1 with char at and display reversed. يعني I want you to print, take this string over here, hello there, and start printing this string but in reverse. So you print the E first, and then R, and then E, then H, and then E, and then space, and so on until the last letter, which is the H. So just أطبعها بالمقلوب يعني. To do this, I need a for loop. That's my for loop. The count will start with, let's have a count variable over here, and it starts from S1.length, which is 11, because S1, as we said, has 11 character, and not just S1 dot length, sorry, S1.length minus 1. So you have 11 character, but when you are moving or looping through the character start, the indexes of these character will start from 0. So let's write the indexes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 until index 10. Because the indexes start from 0, the last index you want to hold is 10. So you are going to take the length of the character, which is H, or the string, sorry, H, and then subtract it from 1. The output is 10. So count will hold 10. Why? Because when I print in a reverse order, the first character in the first index I want to print it is 10. This is why I need to subtract by 1. Now, as long as count is greater than or equal to 0, the counter or the loop will go on. Count, because I'm starting from a bigger number, from 10, then the count needs to go to decrease. So let's start. Count is 10 now. As long as 10 is greater than or equal to 0, the loop will start. I want you to print for me s dot character at count. Count is 10. Okay, count now is 10. What is the character at 10 is E. So print for me the E first. Then loop over. The first thing I'm going to do is subtract 10 from 1. It's going to be 9. And as long as 9 is greater than or equal to 0, I'm going to print the character at count, which is at 9. What is the character at 9? It's R. So I have printed the R. I will continue the process until I reach 0. As long as count is 0, 0 is أكبر أو تساوي 0. So character at index 0 is H, so I am printing the H. So 0 minus 0, or subtract from, 1, just decrease 0 by 1, so it's going to be minus 1. Minus 1, it's not greater or equal than 0, so the for loop will going to stop. So this is how I reverse a string, or print a string in a reverse order. Now, if I want to take just a substring, a part of the string, and put it in this array, because I have defined this array and this array is still empty. So from S1, from this string, hello there, use the method called getCharacters, and this method is one of the methods in the string class. This is why I can use it, because S is of a type string. Start from index 0 and take 5 characters, count 5 characters, and put them inside the character array, which is هنا at the start index 0. So from S1, go to index 0, which has hello, and count for 5 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the word hello, all of the word hello, and put it in character array starting from index 0. So H, E, L, L, O. And then I just want a for loop to print out what's inside the character array, and what's inside the character array, it's a hello word. Okay, so we have been over this, but I thought another, explanation would hurt. Now, compared to, because a lot of the girls today were absent from the class, so we're going to go over this part again. Compare two methods is used as one of the method in the string class, and it's used to compare two characters. And when we compare them lexicographically, and it means they are compared in the same order they appeared in the dictionary or in the alphabetic. So the alphabetic is like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When you compare to a string, you compare them. By the way, they are ordered in the alphabetic. Like A comes before a B, and B comes before a C, and C comes before a D, and so on. And as we said before, every character of these characters is represented by a Unicode value, an integer value, and these are the integer values that correspond each letters of these letters, or each character of these characters. This is for the capital letters, and this is for the small letters. And the capital letters comes in order, in the Unicode order, before the small letters. If you want to know the corresponding Unicode characters for the letters and for the symbols and also for the digits, there is an appendix, I think it's appendix B in your book. In the chapter that this class is based on, you'll find a table that has a Unicode character of everything I'm just covering here. Okay, so you'll find this in the book. So when we compare, we use compare to method to see if two strings are equal or bigger or smaller than each other. So if we have a string S1 that has hello, S2 has goodbye, what we're going to do is comparing the first letter here with the first letter here, the second letter here with the second letter here, and so on. Compare by the order they are ordered in, by the way they appear or ordered in the alphabetic. If S1, we have three cases. If S1 is greater than S2, so if it's greater, the comparison will return a positive number. If S2 is less than S1, if it's less, the comparison will return a negative number. And if they are equal, the comparison will return a zero. Okay, so how are we going to compare? Using the compare to method. This is the first string, S1. I'm asking, compare it to the string 2, which is S2. I've already defined S1 and S2. So let's go for the example. So system.out.print. Please print for me the output of comparing S1, this string with this string over here. So cargo dot compare to cat hood. I'm going to compare letter by letter using the method called compare to, and the output will be printed here. C and C, they are exactly the same. All of them are small letters. Small and capital are different. A and A, also the same. The different are here. This is R and this is T. So I want to see, is the R greater than the T or bigger or equal? So if I go to the Unicode character, I have a small letter T and a small letter R. The value of R in the Unicode character is 114. So let's write it. R is 114. And the value of T is 116. It's clearly that this one, 114, is smaller than 116. Since it's smaller, as we said, it will return a negative number. So negative number. What is this negative number? So 114 minus 116 is equal to minus 2. So this is the negative number. That's the answer. Another one. Car dot compare to car. So comparing letter by letter as the way these letters are ordered in the alphabet, and the capital letter is different from the small letter. So car with car, they are different because small letter is different from capital letter. The capital car has a Unicode character of 67, so 67, and the small c is 99, so 99. So it's clearly that 99 is greater than 67, so it will return a positive number. What is this positive number? It's 99 minus 67 equal to 32. So this is the output. Here, I'm comparing hello dot compare to hello, exactly the same letter, exactly the same case. All of them are lower case letters. So the return or the output will be 0 because they're exactly the same. Okay? طيب. More. Using the class character. So now all of the methods we have talked about here and also here are coming from the class string. So these are methods of the class string. Now we want to try some of the methods in the class character. If I want to try the method in the class character, then the variable I'm using should be from the class character. Okay? So let's try this program. This program is very easy. we are just taking a character and we're testing the character in many different ways. We're going to see if this character is a number or a letter, if it's uppercase letter or lowercase letter, if we can use it as a letter when we are defining an identifier like variable name or a name of a method or not, and so on. So we're just asking different kind of questions, and the answer will be true or false. So first, I'm defining a scanner. Why the scanner? Because I need the user to enter something. And when the user enters something, so first I'm printing for the user, please enter a character and press enter. The character that the user has entered was a capital A, and this will be stored in an input from the type string. So there I have a variable called input, and inside the input I have the capital A that the user has just entered. Why did I use a string here? Because I have scanner. Because when I use a scanner to get the user to enter something, the value the user has entered has to be stored in a string. However, because what I'm going to use now are all methods from the class character, I need to take this capital A and store it in a variable of class character or from the primitive type character. So for this, I will say from my input, so from the string input, go and find the character at index 0. So I have only one letter here, and this letter at the index 0 because it's just a single letter. Take this letter and put it inside a character named C. So I have a variable type C, a type character, and it's called C, and inside of it we'll have the character A. And now I can use all the methods I want to use on this variable C because it's from type character. What are we asking here? So first, print for me. The string is defined, and then using the class character dot is defined C. So is this method is defined is from the class character, and I can use it because C now is from type character. So I'm asking, is this value stored in C one of the values that can be used or that are defined in the Unicode values? So is it a valid Unicode character? So is it here? Is it here? Is it like a valid number or a valid letter or a valid symbol? Yes, this is a letter and it's C. So the output will be true. طيب, another question. Character dot is digit C. Is the value stored inside C a digit? A digit means a number between 0 or 9. 0 and 9. So the answer is false because it's a letter, it's not a digit. طيب. Is character dot is Java identifier start with the value inside C? Can I use the value? What I'm asking here is, can I use the value inside C to start an identifier? What is an identifier? Like a variable name or a method name. So can I have a method that can start with A like this? Ace, for example, a method that starts with A, capital A, or a variable that can look like this, that can start with capital A. Yes, I can do that. So the output is true. طيب, is Java identifier BART? So this one is a little bit different. Here I'm asking if the capital A can be the first letter in an identifier name. Here I'm asking, can it be a part of identifier name, like the second letter or the third letter or the last letter? Yes, I can. Then it's going to be true as well. But character dot is letter. Is the thing inside C a letter? Yes, it is a letter, so true. character dot is letter or digit is, so هنا it's true. Is a thing inside C a letter or a digit? Yes, it's true because it's a letter. So is it a lowercase letter? No, it's false because it's a capital A. Is a uppercase? Yes, it is. By character dot to uppercase. The to here means that you want to convert what's inside C into an uppercase. It's already a uppercase letter, so the output is a capital A. Dot lowercase c, you want to take it and change it into a lowercase, so the output would be a lower a. Easy. But we have extra methods. We have equals, ignore case, region matches, start with and end with, value of, and all of these methods come from the string class. And we also want to learn how to locate a character and string, how to do a substring, how to extract and concatenate multiple strings. So let's start with the equal. If you have a string S1 and inside S1 you have hello, S2 and inside S2 you have hello but with a capital H. Here you are asking S1 dot equal to S2 is what inside S1 equal to what's inside S2? The output is false. Why? Because this is small letter and this is capital letter. So we're comparing the content of these two strings, and these are not equal because you have one small and one capital. But this equal is different from compared to. Compared to something and equal is something else. So the output is different. The output here is true or false when you're using this. String, if you changed string 1, S1 now is new string hello. So S1 will be defined in the stack and it will refer to a part in the memory that has the word hello. And S2 is in the stack and S2 is capital hello. But let's see, I'm asking S1 equal to hello. I am comparing is what is inside S1 is equal to hello. Look at S1. What's inside S1, it's not hello. What's inside S1, let's say this is memory address, is the memory address to the space in the memory that is referring to the word hello. So here you are comparing a string with a memory address. So the output is false. If you want to compare the content, you should use equals because one of them is an object and this is just a string. So to fix this, you just need to use the method equals. S1 dot equals to hello. Yes, true. You are comparing the content, what is S1 is pointing to, with the string hello. But string 2 now is changed. And instead of capital H, it's now a small h. So let's change it. Let's change this into this. Okay. Now let's ask system.out.print, is what's inside S2 equal to hello or not? So if you want to see if it's equal or not, you have to use a double equal, two equal signs. You can do this here. Why? Because you are comparing what is inside this one, which is S2, to hello. What's inside S2 is not memory address, is a string hello, and it's exactly like the string hello over here, so the output is true. طيب, if S1 is hello and S2 is hello, but this is capital letter and this is small letter, and you want to ignore the cases, you don't want them to be case sensitive anymore, you can say S1 dot equals ignore case S2. Is what's inside S1 equal to what's inside S2 if we ignore the case? Yes. So the output will be true. Also easy. Region matches, what does region matches do? If you want to compare a substring, just a region or a part of your string with another string or another substring, you use region matches. And region matches, you have four important parameters. First, you have the first string you are comparing to, the start index of the first string, the string 2 you're comparing string 1 with, the start index of string 2, and how many characters do you want to compare? You want 3 characters, 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever you want. This fifth argument or parameter is optional. You can use it or you can ignore it as you like. If you use it, you can define whether you want to ignore the case or does not ignore the case. So case sensitive or not. So if you want to ignore the case, you are going to put true over here. The default is false. The default that it is case sensitive. Small h is different from capital H. If you want to change this, you have to put the word true at the beginning. Let's take an example. طيب, you have string S1 and S2, happy birthday with capital letter and happy birthday with small letter. Please compare for me S1 dot region matches. So S1 region matches start from 0. So this is 0, which is H. مع S2, this is S2, starting from index 0, so small h, and compare only 5 letters or 5 characters. So H, A, P, P, Y. Just this. I wanted to compare this first 5 letters. Are they equal? No. Does it match? No, it does not. There is no match because the first one is capital letter and the second one is small letter. So the output is false. Right. If you want to ignore the case difference, you just need to put another parameter here, which is true. Then the comparison will return true because you choose to ignore the cases between two strings. طيب, started, end, and ends with. It used to compare the start of a string and the end of a string with another string. For example, if you have defined an array of a type string like this is an array. It has just 2 values. The first is a string called started, and the second is a string called starting with ing. Now, you're writing a loop that will loop twice because you have only 2 elements in here. The first element in the array and second element in the array. You have defined S, and S will take first the first element here and second the second element in here. To loop twice only, and we've already learned about the loops. طيب, let's go over this. First, I'm asking S dot start with. So S now has this value over here, has started. Does S, what's inside S, start with the string st? Yes, so it does start with st, so the output is true. See, true. طيب, I'm asking another question. So I will ask 3 questions here. Is S dot to start with at index 2 has ART? So you're asking at index 2 صفر واحد 2 at index 2 does it has ART? Yes, it does has ART at index 2, so true. طيب, does string S ends with ed? It does end with ed, so it returns true. طيب, يلا. Finish the for loop. The second loop now, S will have starting. This one. Let's go over it. Does S start with st? It does start with st. Does S at index 2, so 0, 1, 2 has ART? It does. So it returns true as well. طيب, does it end with ED? No, it ends with ING, so false. Easy peasy. You're just checking the starts with and ends with. طيب, value of. I have another method from the class string, and this method is called value of. And this method is also very easy. You have defined an array. This array has 3 letters, A, B, and C, 0, 1, 2. It's a character array. And you have defined X, which is 50, and it's a number. System.out.print. You want to print what is inside the character array, but you want to change it from a character array into a string. So from the class string dot the method's value of, and you will put array here. So you're saying take the character array and change the value of it, all of it, into a string and print it out for me because it's inside system.out. So the output would be the string ABC. Here, please take the value X and change it into a string and print it for me. So the output is 50, but this 50 is a string, it's not an integer number. If you want to locate a character, if you want to know an index, the number of the index of a character inside a string, we can use the following method. So I have defined a string. This string is called letters and has ABCD, ABCD. Let's give them the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. طيب. Letters is the name of the string. Letters dot index of. Please give me the index of the first C you see in this string. In this string, the string letters, the first C located as location 2 or index 2. So this is the output. Right. Letters dot last index of C. If you have another C, look at the last index of the C. I have the first C, this is the first C. I have another C, which is at index 6. So this will be the output because I'm looking at the last C I have. طيب, letters dot index of the ABC. So where's the ABC? I have 2. But when I say index of, I always look from the left to the right because I'm looking for the first one. So the first ABC start at index 0. So the index is 0. If I say letters dot index dot last index of A, B, C, if it was like this, then you are looking for the last one, which is here, and it's at index 4. So the output would be, index 4. Okay? So that's the difference. Moving on. If I want to extract substring from string or using a concatenation. You have a string S, it has hello world, S2 has happy, and S3 has birthday, and int, which has 10. So just the number 10. Right. S dot substring 6. Substring is a method from class string, and it uses to take the indexes of a string. So we're talking about S. So this is S, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at index 6, you have the W, please substring, يعني take this part of the string and give it to me. So that starts with index 6, يعني from W to the end. So this is the output, the word with the exclamation mark. Right. S dot substring, but this time S dot substring, but from index 1 until the index, not 7, until before 7. So from index 1 until the index before 7. This is how it works. Before the last index I have just written here, which is index 7. So let's go and count. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So from index 1, so I will take the E, L, L, O, the space, and the W, and I will stop at the W, and I will not take the O, because the O is at index 7, and I said before index 7. So this is the output. If I say concatenation or concat, it means you just want to stick or glue two strings together. So S2, stick it or concat it with S3. S2 is happy and S3 is birthday. So instead of having two different strings, the output will be 1, which is happy and birthday. Exactly like this. There is no space over here. This is why there is no space over here. Just a whole glued word. And here we're just printing X as it is. So printing the output of X, which is 10. Also easy. Tokenization. The idea of tokenization is just splitting a whole string into multiple word or multiple token. Token mean just a word. So in this string over here, you have two tokens or two words. These words are tokenization and string. How did you know that you have two words or two tokens? Because of the space over here. This space called delimiter, and the delimiter over here is the thing that tell us that you have two separate words in the sentence. This is a thing that we're going to do, just splitting one whole string into multiple strings. Multiple tokens. So a tokenizer is splitting a string into individual substring, so smaller tokens or smaller words. If you have a sentence like his name is Ali, if you want to take it or split it into different tokens, you are going to use the delimiter. The delimiter is this spaces over here, which helps me to know that this is a word, this is a word, this is a word, and this is a word. And the sentence over here, the delimiter, that helps me to know the words are the comma and comma and comma. So it tells me to separate or split this whole string into multiple tokens or multiple smaller words. So this is the idea of tokenization. To use it, you have to import from UTL the string tokenizer to allow you to use the method that is going to be used right now to tokenize something. So let's take an example. I have imported string tokenizer, defined a scanner because I want the user to enter something for me. So first I said to the user, please enter a sentence and press enter. I took the sentence and I then stored it into a string that's called sentence. The user entered, this is a sentence with 7 tokens. This is what the user has entered. And I can notice that there's a space between these words. And then I have defined a string token, an array called tokens from type string. And inside of this, what I'm going to do is use a sentence. So this is a sentence that the user has just entered. From the class string, use .split, use the method split, and the delimiter is the space. So every time you see a space, do a split and take the output and put it inside tokens. So the output is, I'm going to have an array out of 7 different elements because I have 7 words over here. This is, every time I see a space, I'm going to split a sentence with 7 tokens. So I have an array called tokens. The indexes is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means I have seven words. Then I've created just a for loop to print the output. So to print what's inside the array. If the user entered the sentence like this is a sentence and he had a comma between the word, then this line will be changed just like this. The delimiter is not a space, it's a comma, because a delimiter is something that tells the split method where the split should happen. Where should they break the long sentence into the small tokens or the small words? Easy. Right. Last part of this lecture is the regular expression. So regular expressions, or we can call them regex, they are important and they are very useful to do something very beneficial, which is to search if you have, so we have a pattern and we have a string, and we want to say if our string matches this pattern or not. So I want to know if my string matches a particular pattern or not. For this, I will use the regular expressions or regex. To do the regex or to perform the regular expression, I either can use the class pattern or the class matcher. But we are going to focus on the class pattern. It's easier and more straightforward. In the class pattern, I have 3 different methods: matches, compile, and p.matcher. And these collectively, I can use them to perform the regular expression, and we will take an example to explain all of this. The idea is just very simple. You have this string over here, which is as, and you have a pattern here, which is .s. You want to see if this text follow this pattern or not. These patterns just say you need to have only a string out of 2 characters, just 2 characters. The second has to be an S, and the first one, dot, means it can be any character, but it has to be one single character. So since this is second letter is S, and we have another one letter only, and this letter is A, so it matches the pattern. So this pattern will usually return true. That's the whole idea of regular expression. Why do we use them in Java? If we want to know that the user input follow a regular pattern. For example, if the user is entering information for personal information for a shipment, for example, he need to enter a zip code and a city and an address and his name, last name. We want to make sure that the zip code is made of, for example, 4 numbers only. And when he entered the email, there is an @ in the email address and a .com part, because I need to know that this is a valid email address. I want to know that when he written the city name, there was no numbers. It's just all letters, no numbers, because we don't have cities with numbers. The city is always composed of letters only. So this is why we use regular expression, to know that the input follow a pattern that we have defined. But there are some predefined patterns that we can use them. These patterns are like this. Just a second. Just a second. I'll be with you just a second. These patterns are like this, the predefined patterns. The first one, backslash D, it means that you can have any digit. Digits are from 0 to 9. So any numbers from 0 to 9 is a digit. Backslash capital D, it means any non-digit. The non-digits are like letters or symbols, capital letters, small letters, and symbols. These are non-digits. Any word characters, a word character mean that you can have a word character. Just a second, I just want to check something. So any word character mean that you can have letters from A to Z. You can have digit from 0 to 9, and you can have underscore as well, اللي هي الشرطة التحتية underscore. Capital D, you can have any non-word character, anything apart from this stuff over here. So symbols like this or this or this are allowed. Backslash small s, any white space character. The white space can happen if you write a white space like this, or press a tab, or press a new line in your keyboard. Any non-white space character, anything apart from using a white space character. So these are the pattern that we're using. When you use the pattern inside your code, you're not just adding, I want to just delete this. You're not just adding one single escape character. This is escape character in the Java code in order to tell the Java that you are using this pattern, this predefined pattern. It's not allowed to use just one escape character. You need to use a double escape character. So this is why it will always look like this. I want you to print for me. Please print for me from the class pattern using the method matches. Does this string over here matches this pattern or not? So print true or false. Right. This pattern says that you need to have only one digit from 0 to 9. This is not one digit, and this is not even a digit, so the output is false. Here, only one digit, and this string here over here has only one digit, which is the number 1, so it will return true. The capital D means any non-digit, so anything that's not just a number. So I have M, and it needs to be only a single one. And comes once, it means just one non-digit, one character. So this is one character, which is an M. So it will return true. Here it says any non-digit. I have a digit, so it will return false. So the only thing it will do is just compare this to this to see if the string over here matches the pattern over here or not, using the method matches from the class pattern. We will do more of these now. Right. To use it in the code, you need to import from UTL the regex, and then you can use the regex of regular expression in 3 different ways. This is the first thing, this is the second, and this is the third way. The first way is the full pattern and the matcher and the matches. So you will use all of these. You will use all of these, the matcher, the compile, and the matches, all of them together. First, I have defined a pattern called B, and my pattern is .s. So it compiled to .s. So I only need 2 characters. The first character can be anything, and the second need to be only the letter S. After defining and compiling the pattern, I'm going to attach the string I will look, or the text I will compare to, which is as. So b dot matcher, and the text I want to compare it to is as, and I will put it inside a matcher named n. Now, to do the comparison, or does it match or not, I need to do m, this is m, dot matches, and output is going to be true or false, so it has to be stored in a Boolean variable. This is the first one. The second one is just to chain everything in one line. So instead of having multiple lines, they can be like this. So it will be, the result will be stored in B2, which is Boolean, pattern dot compile, this is my pattern, dot matcher, and I've attached the string or text, dot match. Or the third way, which is more easier and quicker, which is using the pattern matches directly. So B3 because Boolean, because it's going to store either true or false, pattern dot matches, and put the pattern here and the text or the string here. So this is usually the quicker way and the most common way that we use it to do the matches or the regular expression. All of them, of course, we're going to return true. So I have 3 different ways, and all of them will have the same exact output, which is true. Another example. This is going to print either true or false, depending whether it matches or not. So pattern dot matches dot s, and as we said, this pattern means that you have only 2 characters. Second one is s, and the first one can be anything, so it's true. Here, same pattern, C, M, K. The second one is K, not S, so this is false because the second character is not S. M, S, T, this is false because we have more than 2 characters, you have 3. This is also false because you have more than 2 characters, you have 4 characters. But this says you have dot dot S, which means that you can have 3 characters. The last one should be an S, and the first 2 can be anything. So mass is true because the third character is S. Easy. Right. We have more predefined classes that we can use to make this more flexible and to try more different stuff. We can define the character classes like this. A, B, C. It means that your pattern, it means... Sorry يا بنات, just a second. ولدي صحى من النوم. So my son had just woken up from his sleep. Really sorry about that. Okay, let's just go back. So define a class, A, B, C. It means that your string needs to be composed of only one character, and this character can be either A or B or C. Just this. Okay, either A or B or C. This over here, it means negation. It means anything but. So it's like a negative. So I can have your string has to be only one character, which is any letter apart from, so except A will be or C. So your string can be X, can be Y, can be Z, but it can't be A because A is in the prevented character list. Here you can have your text can have any letter from the range A to Z, so any small letter from A to Z, or any capital letter from A to Z, but has to be only a single letter. Here, it has to be either a letter from A to D, so A, B, C, D, and then I have another group. This is a union. A union means it can be either from the range A, B, C, or from the range M, N, O, P. So it has to be only one letter out from this 8 letter group, just from this 8 letter. Intersection, we use double at for the intersection. It means that from A to Z and D, E, F. So technically we're saying we're just allowing these three letters, the D or E or F. Your string only needs to have either D or E or F. Here you are allowing everything from A to Z apart from BC. BC is not allowed. Here you are allowing every letter from A all the way to Z apart from this range. You are not allowing any letter from M, N, or P. So anything apart from N, O, M, N, O, and P. So this is another way for defining the patterns. Let's take an example. We are going to print true or false whether a string matches a pattern or not. My pattern is this, AMN. We also need the string or the text to have one character only, that's either A or M or N. So this A, B, C, D, it has more than one character, so false. Here, one character and it's A, then true. Here we have more than one character, so it comes more than once because it's more than one character. Although these are A and M and N, these are an allowed character, and this comes from the range because we allowed A and M and N. However, because they came more than once, more than one character, the output is false. These range only, or these predefined patterns only allow one character. If you want to allow more flexibility, we are going to use quantifiers. The quantifiers give you more flexibility around your regular expressions. For example, if you use the question mark, then you are allowing with X, then you are allowing the letter X to occur in your string either once or not at all. So it's okay if it did not appear, it will return true, or if it appears only one, but it's not allowed to appear more than one. This is what the question mark means. The plus means X is allowed to happen or to appear in the string one more or more than one time. So at least it needs to be present one more in the string. The star means that the X is allowed 0 or more time. So 0, 0 or more times. See the difference between the string, the question mark and the star? The question mark either 0 or 1, and the star 0 or more than once. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any numbers of occurrence, that's fine. Here, xn, inside the n, you define how many times the x is allowed to appear in your string. So if you want it to appear twice, you'll see 2. 3 times, you're going to say 3, and so on. So you define how many times. Here you have a range that starts from end and it's endlessly. So you say it's okay if X happen at least 2 times until whatever the number of times. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 100, 1000 مفتوحة، عدد لا نهائي، يعني العدد اللي تمشي عليه string عادي ما يفرق. Okay. Here, X, Y to Z, so you define a range. X, for example, 2 to 5. It means X at least need to be in your string 2 times and at most 5 times. More than 5 times, it will return false. Less than 2 times, it will return false. Let's take an example and we will start this example from the last sentence. So here we're saying, please print for me system.out.print pattern.matches a star, and this is an empty string. So does this string matches this pattern says that your string either needs to has, so it has a star. So the stars mean, look at the star, mean A is allowed to happen in the string or it's not allowed to happen in the string. So because A is not in the string and string is empty, there is no A, but because it's not, it's okay to have 0 A, the return will be true. Okay, this is because we use a star, and star means the A is optional. It might be an A in the string and might not be an A in the string. Either way, it should be the output would be true. Right. Here we're saying A plus. The plus mean that the character here needs to be present at least one or more time. So we need to have A in my sentence at least one time. In the string, you have triple A, so the return is true. Here, I think there is type. Going back to the last one, which is this pattern dot matches A to C, a question mark. Does this D matches this pattern over here or not? Like in the slide, they say it's true. However, that's not correct. The output is false. It's not true, and I will explain to you why. So the pattern is saying you have A until C. So we only are allowing A and B and C, and then a question mark inside the bracket. It means that you are allowing A, B, C, or the question mark. So you are treating the question mark here as a character. So inside this, you have a string, which is the letter D. It's not A, it's not B, it's not C, it's not a question mark, which means the output is going to be false, not true. Yep. If you take the question mark from here and put it over here, what does this supposed to mean? So you are basically saying that you either have A, B, C inside the string or nothing. No E, no B, no C, an empty string. So the output is also false because this is not A, B, or C or an empty string. This has the letter D, so this is why it's going to be also false. If you want to make this in the code, try this in the code. So this is the first pattern with the question mark inside of the bracket. Just gonna prove that this is false. So see, when we run it, the output is false. If I take the question mark out and put it here, it's also going to be false. Right? This means that you either need to have a string that's contain A, B, C, or an empty string. So let's change the D into an into an A and see what's happened. So A, true. Let's make it an empty string. True. See? Right. Let's go back into when I told you it can either be if the question mark is inside the bracket, it means that you're looking for either A, B, C, or the question mark. So if you put A here and run, it's true. If you put a question mark here and run, it's true. If it's instead of question mark, you have put a hash, sorry, not now. If you have put a hash, so instead of question mark, I put a hash. So I'm looking for either A, B, C, or a hash. And I will change this into a hash. The output would also be true. See? So this is why I told you have to try everything yourself. If you try everything, play around with the code, you will know what's happened with the code when you try something differently, and this will help you learn what's happening in your code and help you also understand the concepts. Let's go back. Let's take an example. This is a long example, but I have split it into multiple slides to make it easier for us to go through it. This example also has only two classes. This is the class validate. It's called validate, and the class validate has the main method, and the class validate input has different methods, and we are going to ask the user in the main to enter some information: first name, last name, phone number, state, code, and so personal information for him. And then we are going to use the validate input class to make sure that the input the user have entered follow a particular pattern. Okay, so we have defined a scanner. Why we used a scanner? Because we want the user to input information. We first ask the user to input his first name. We have stored the first name into a string called first name. We asked for the last name, we store it in the last name. We asked for the address, store it in the address. We asked for the city, store it in the city, state in the state, zip in the zip, and the phone in the phone. So we have how many variables? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 variables, and all of them are string. They hold information entered by the user. Then I'm going to print something called validate result. I want to check that everything that the user have entered follow a particular pattern. For this, I'm going to have an if else. Every time I'm asking if what the user has input follow my pattern. If it's follow the pattern, that's okay. I'm not printing anything. If I've used a not here, if it does not follow the pattern, I'm going to print invalid first name or invalid last name or invalid zip code or invalid phone number, and so the user will know where the error is. If everything is correct, the system will print for me valid input. Thank you. Okay, how are we going to use this class over here? The class called validate input. So I am going to call the class validate input dot the name of the method. The first method, validate first name, will take the first name to make sure that the first name follow the pattern. Then I'm going to call validate the last name with the last name. Then I'm going to call validate the address with the address, and so on. Let's see the user. The user has input 2 times. The first time, the user input the first name as Jane. We took the first name and we called the method that validate the first name with the name that the user has input, which is Jane. The method will only return true or false, whether the input name follow the pattern or not. So what is the pattern? Let's see the pattern. Does the first name matches this pattern? What does this pattern says? It says the name that has entered needs to have first one letter, which would be capital from A to Z. So it needs to start with a capital letter. Then another letter or no letters. So because I have used the star over here, it means the first capital letter can be followed by either another small letter or another capital letter or none. So user can enter Jane that's okay. Can enter J, can enter Jane like this. All of them are valid because the rule says the first letter need to be capital. The second part is optional. Optional mean he can only enter the first letter, which is capital. And if he wants to enter more, he can do this because the star said 0 or more. طيب. And if he doesn't want, that's okay. And if he does enter more than letter, more than one letter, it can be small, it can be capital, all allowed. طيب. What is not permitted? What is wrong? If he entered Jane like this, it's wrong because we asked for the first letter to be capital. If he entered like this, it's wrong because we're not allowing digits to be included. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing is the last name. What are we saying in the last name? In the last name, we said the last name should start with a letter, either from small letter or a capital letter. And then we have the plus sign. The plus sign says one or more. What does one or more mean? Where are we? Yeah. What does one or more mean? It means that you need to have at least one letter as a last name. One letter or more than one letter, either capital or small. And then this whole part over here, as you can see, the whole part over here has a star. A star means it's optional. It might be 0 and it might have the things inside defined inside this pattern. What are the things? Apostrophe is allowed, a dash is allowed, and followed by A to Z small letters or capital letters. That's okay. This part can be one or more, so one letter or more than one letter. So always remember this, what these quantifiers over here means. Right. So the user entered dough. So as a last name, the first capital is D, which is the first letter is capital, which is D, allowed. Also, followed by two small letters, that's also allowed. If the user said D apostrophe OE, it's allowed because we allowed apostrophe. If it says D dash OE, it's also allowed because we have permitted the dash. If he says only one letter, so only one letter, so if it's just D, then it's also allowed because this whole thing is optional. So to know what's allowed and what's not, try to enter multiple different names to see what's going to happen. Okay? طيب. Next, we have entered, or the user has entered what? What's next? So the address. The address is entered 123 some street. Like, where's the address? Address is over here. The address he entered is 123 and some street. Let's check the pattern. Like, matches this pattern. The patterns need to be, first, we need a digit, at least one or more than one digit. So we do have more than one digit. تمام. Then S plus, which means a space. After the digits, we need to have a space, either one space or more than one space, that's okay. But we need at least one space. Then we need him to have, look at this. This is the الخط اللي هنا, the line over here means or. So it means or. It means either this or this part. What this part mean? That after the number, we need to have a letter or more than one letter, or more than one letters, either capital or small. So it means I need to have at least one word here. If I want to say to him, you can have one word or two words, then I would say or. Or I have a word followed by a space and followed by another word. So I can, what's allowed in here? 1, 2, 3, and some street is allowed because it's two words and numbers. 1, 2, 3, some it's allowed because one word is also allowed. Some only is not allowed because it does not start with a number. Also, 1, 2, 3 main ST5 is not allowed because this part has a number and we only need the number at the start. Okay, so this is for this pattern. Next, she entered some city. City, where is the city? So she entered here some city. Easy peasy. City is same as address. The only difference, we didn't allow any digit. So we either can have one word or more than one word with a space in between. So two words. So we allowed only one word or two words, and between them are a space. And this is the or over here. So we can accept something like some city. That's okay. One word or different two words. We can accept Riyadh, one word. New York, two words. But we don't accept the MAM 3 because it's have a letter. It's not acceptable. Or 1, 2, 3 and city because it starts with a number and we're not accepting any number. طيب. The state is the same as the city. The zip code. Let's go and see the zip code. So the zip, she entered here 1, 2, 3. طيب. 1, 2, 3. What does the zip code mean? We need a digit that is 5 numbers long. So the user entered 1, 2, 3. Because she entered 1, 2, 3, it will print. It doesn't follow the button. The button asks at least for 5 numbers, and she enters 3. So it will print out here invalid zip code. See, printed here invalid input. Invalid zip code. After she finished entered all information, it will tell her that the zip code was invalid because she entered 3 numbers only. It needs at least to be 5 numbers long because we said we need 5 digits. So it will accept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't accept this because it's 4, or this because it's more than 5, or this because it has letters. Then we have the phone number. The phone number here, it should be 3, by the way. Here it should be 3, and here should be 3. So the number should start with a number, a digit between 1 and 9, not 0, no, a digit from 1 and 9, and then followed by, sorry, دقيقة, هنا should be 2. No, هنرجعها 2 and see what's happening, دقيقة. So it needs to start with a number from 1 to 9. And then we need 2 digits, whatever these digits are, and then a dash, and then a number also from 1 to 9, okay? And then 2 digits, whatever these digits are, and then a dash, and then 4 digits, whatever these digits are. The most important thing is that here and here, 0 is not allowed. So 2 started with 2, not 0, that's okay. And then we have 2 digits, then dash, then 5, because we set any number but 0, then 6, 7, and then 4 other numbers, that's okay. This is wrong because it starts with 0, and 0 is not allowed. We said that the first number should be a number between 1 and 9. Okay? So that's the code. Last example. is this, very easy. We have also patterns and a string. We want to see if these matches or not. So pattern.matches, the pattern says that we only allowed characters from A to Z, small or capital, and digits from 0 to 9. It has to be only 6 character long. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 character longs. It's small letters, numbers, so it returns true. This will return false because this is more than 6 character long, so false. This will return true because these are 6 and numbers only, all of them capital. Capitals are allowed, so true. This is false because it does not follow this pattern. It has a character that was not defined in this pattern, so it will return false. So this is the end of this lecture. I have tried to cover everything in details. I hope this is clear enough. If you have any question, you can ask. Please feel free to ask whenever you want. وإن شاء الله يكون everything is clear and واضح. Okay? Thank you for listening.